Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. There is a lot to talk about when it comes to 343 today. There's been multiple huge stories broken back to back on what's going on with the layoffs on Microsoft, and particularly 343. You know, they actually had a huge sizable amount of people that was laid off from their studio. And I want to talk about it. You know, first off, let's give a backstory. Microsoft laid off about 10,000 people, and some went into the gaming industry. Now, when it comes to 343, and that's who we're going to be talking about today, 343 had roughly 60 plus people laid off, and a lot of them seem to be mainly focused on the story narrative of Halo Infinite. You know, regardless, that could be anything. You know, developers tend to move around a lot, so it doesn't necessarily mean much of anything. And then right after that, you had Joseph Staten, which is the person that a lot of people truly believed was going to bring Halo back to the prime of its age. He ended up leaving right afterwards, which I don't know. He probably left a little bit ago, but now we're just recently hearing about what's going on. He went right back to where he used to be, and that's like pretty much the publishing arm of Microsoft when it comes to, you know, going out and getting new titles to bring to the Xbox platform. I don't know exactly his role in that matter, but a lot of things have been going on, and I think the direction of Halo is drastically changing. The way that it's looking like on here is it seems like Microsoft is leaning away from single player in general when it comes to the Halo brand. And I don't know how I feel about that. I don't like that, you know, but at the same time, I can understand if they need to make money, multiplayer is the way to go, but I feel like you could easily do both. And, you know, let's look at, you know, stuff that Jason Schreier is tweeting about in the past couple days. So as you can see here, you know, he tweeted Microsoft is laying off 10,000 people today, including in its gaming divisions such as Xbox and Bethesda. Keep in mind, 343 was the only person hit in the gaming industry when it comes to these layoffs. He says the goal is not clear, but his company has confirmed job cuts at Bethesda Software Studios, which is on Starfield, which is most likely Starfield is over the line. So it's kind of weird that they would lay people off on going into the next project. I don't know. I'm not really into those type of studios. I don't know what it takes to make these type of games. I don't know how many people you should realistically keep on staff to go into the next title. That's just my opinion. A Microsoft spokesman declined to comment on how many employees of the gaming division was laid off. So it seemed like I said, it was about 60 plus just at 343. And like I said, a lot of them was not in the multiplayer division. They were people making single player content, people, you know, probably finding out where they want to take the Halo brand in terms of single player. It looks like story of Microsoft layoffs include the gaming division. Microsoft won't share specific numbers, but several employees have told me that 343 was hit hard. This comes in the wake of a long-running hiring freeze and lots of contract departures. Now, it does look like Microsoft and 343 and Xbox was using a lot of contracting work to get away from paying, you know, full-time employees health benefits and stuff like that. It looks like it's a little bit of a loophole to get that talent and to have them work on your game, but not really bring them on in a full-time capacity. You know, this has been done for a long time. I don't believe in it, but at the same time, there's not a whole lot that you could be done on that. You're going to need new people. I feel like, you know, you should be bringing on contractors to get yourself across the finish line, not to develop the game, if that makes sense to you guys. Apparently, the Microsoft CEO made $54 million in total compensations last year. Once again, this is just a standard thing in the industry, any industry for that matter. They give some type of goals for the CEO to make, and he gets money depending on how well he does in those goals. Now, you could argue he shouldn't be getting these type of money with these type of layoffs, but that's just not how it works. And as much as it sucks and it shouldn't work that way, that's the way the industry, and for that matter, every industry works. Joseph Staten, who joined 343 in 2020 to steer Halo Infinite towards the finish line, is leaving the studio to rejoin Xbox Publishing, like I said earlier. Now, I do want to talk about this Pierre Heistzé dude. I probably butchered his name. What I find very interesting is the fact that Joseph Staten was brought back to, kind of be a lead position in the studio. Maybe not necessarily be in the driver's seat, but that's the way it was always, appeared when they talked about the game. It was him talking about it. But this Pierre dude, he's making a lot of decisions as well. So what's crazy to me is he was brought on to lead Halo Infinite in the right direction, but Pierre is the one that's staying. To me, it seems like there was a power struggle between those two individuals, and Pierre won. I don't know if that's the case, but that's the way it looks like on paper. When you bring someone on to lead the studio in a different direction, and in a lot of ways, Joe Staten, he came from the older Halo, so a lot of people had a lot of faith in him. But it looks like this other person was left standing, and Joseph is gone. So take that how you will. I don't really know anything particular. I have no inside information about that. It just seems weird that Joseph is leaving, this Pierre dude's still around. He said, "We've made the difficult decisions to restructure elements of our team, which means some roles are being eliminated." This is where I think they're misjudging. I can understand that single player probably doesn't generate a lot of income because you only really can make money off of the initial purchase of the game. But I feel like it's necessary. A lot of people really interested into the Halo universe because of that single player, because of the Halo lore, and I think it's a mistake to only rely on the multiplayer of this game. Now, I'm not going to say that multiplayer isn't going to be the driven thing, but I think that Halo's multiplayer, that arena style, is outdated in a lot of the younger audience, the younger generations. They're not playing games like that. And that's why I think the disconnect is. I think that you need to really focus on captivating both of those audiences and not just one. I don't think that the multiplayer had a lot of issues, but it was the monetization around had issues. When a company looks greedy to the player and overcharging for some of these cosmetic designs, and then you're not really getting anything with the stuff that you are paying for, which is like battle passes and stuff. Go look at Fortnite. When you unlock stuff in the battle pass, it actually is irrelevant. Skins make you look different, give you cool emotes. On Halo Infinite, makes you look slightly different than the person beside you. And I think that was their biggest issue, is the cosmetics wasn't that diverse. But that's just my opinion on the matter. I think that this might be in a direction that they need. I'm not going to lie and act like it's something that they couldn't use, and maybe with the influx of money that they would get from multiplayer, if they're able to revive that and bring back players that are willing to pay into the microtransactions, maybe he can leverage that with Microsoft and Xbox to make single player a little bit more of a priority with Microsoft. But to me, you're going to lose the majority of your audience when they don't get any single player style things at all. And I saw some stuff on here where they're talking about outsourcing the single player to another studio. Now, if they did that and it was a different studio that I felt comfortable with, then I would be okay with that. Let 343 worry about the multiplayer as an entirety, and let another studio take the adventures of Master Chief and whoever they decide to bring into the Halo universe somewhere else. I'm a huge fan of machine games. I think that the style games they make would work very well in this type of environment of Halo, and I think that would be good. If they're going that direction, then I'm 100% with it. Maybe 343 needs to entirely work on the Halo universe. But this is a bad look. I think this is by far some of the worst stuff that's happened with 343 in a while. When Joseph Staten came in and we saw Bonnie Ross leave, a lot of people thought maybe the ship's being corrected. But it just looks like it's more chaos. Chaotic and chaos. It doesn't look like anything's being resolved. It looks like it's just being pushed down the road. But put in the comment section below what you guys feel about the matter. I'm very curious to hear you guys' opinion. And until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace.